Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are in this world. Thank you for joining this TED event. My name is Kunal, and I'm going to be talking on the topic Fair is Actually Unfair, using AI to uncover colorism and gender bias in movies. I am a graduate student at Carnegie Mellon University, and I'm originally from India. Having traveled a few countries, I have realized that India and Bollywood have become synonymous over time. Responses ranging from, oh, I watched quite a few Bollywood movies, to the Hindi movie songs are so catchy, from interactions with people, has made me realize the impact movies have all over the world. To sound super smart for this particular TED Talk, I looked up at some statistics published online. Combined, the Bollywood and Hollywood industries together are worth more than $100 billion. More than 3,000 movies are churned out of these two industries each and every year. And in terms of content and in terms of impact, 3 to 4 billion people are exposed to some form of Bollywood or Hollywood content. That's around half of the world's population. And especially during a pandemic, most likely this number will be even more due to lots of free time and nowhere to go. From a very young age, I understood that movies and society we live in are very deeply interconnected. So much so that movies and society mirror each other. Humans get influenced by movies, and more importantly, movies get influenced by the societal norms existing around us. People get influenced by movies and the movie characters. Here we have Shah Rukh Khan, the most popular Bollywood actor. He is known for his pose at the Brooklyn Bridge, as when he opens his arms and smiles, his girlfriend runs and falls into his arms. And then there's me. I have tried to recreate this pose at Brooklyn Bridge and various other random bridges. And this was the moment when I realized the difference between movies and real life. As no one ran to fall into my arms, everyone just started laughing at me. But more importantly, this phenomena goes other way around as well. The content in movies are made in such a way that they reflect the societal changes taking place. For example, there has been a lot of awareness regarding LGBTQ discrimination and their rights in the 21st century. And we can see that the content being portrayed in movies is indicative of the same fact. Movies showcasing LGBTQ relationships have increased by a lot in the recent years. Or an even more simple way to understand how movies portray the societal changes taking place with a single dialogue. Most movies have a plot in which someone gets kidnapped and the kidnappers ask for huge amounts of money. In a 1970s movie, the ransom amount for kidnapping is in thousands. And compared to that, in a 2020 movie, the ransom amount is always in millions or even billions. So even these fine nuances, like the purchasing power of money and inflation, are captured very well by the movies. In the last few slides, I laid the premise for how strongly interconnected movie and society are. Let's now move on to what happened last year. In 2020, the entire society at large faced many incidents of systemic racism. And in today's world, these incidents cannot be ignored. Looking at the happenings of 2020, we embarked on a mission to answer the question, is racism also mirrored in movies? If yes, can we uncover it? If yes, can we quantify it? And for the first time in my life, my biggest pastime, watching movies, became a topic of my research. Before diving deep into a large-scale analysis, we were curious to see if anyone was talking about gender bias or racism in movies. And through a simple Google search, we found numerous blogs giving dialogue examples which promote fair skin and are misogynistic towards women. So, what were some of these dialogues which people have highlighted in all these various blogs and articles? The first dialogue from a very popular film, Akeli Ladki Khuli Tijori Ki Tarah Hoti Hai. Its English translation is, a girl who is alone is like an open treasure. Or the second dialogue from a very popular song having millions of views, Hum Kale Hai To Kya Hua Dilwale Hai. Its English translation is, so what if you are dark skinned, we still have a big heart. These were just some of the dialogues we came across in various blog articles. We also looked at some of the claims people have made to defend such misogynistic dialogues and dialogues promoting fair skin. These are just a few one-off incidents, or you can't generalize and say that the entire film industry is biased based on only a few examples. And these statements seem convincing as it becomes hard to know how prevalent such dialogues have been over many years when you're just looking at a very small sample of movies. So, we collected subtitles or dialogues from more than 1,500 movies from Bollywood and Hollywood, resulting in 1 million Bollywood dialogues and 1 million Hollywood dialogues from movies spanning 70 years from 1950 to 2020. To begin with, we performed a very simple count-based analysis. Information gets consumed by two main mediums, visual form and text form. We calculated a ratio which we label as the male pronoun ratio, which is the number of times male pronouns occur divided by the number of times both male and female pronouns occur. We compare it across the two mediums using dialogues from movies and using books from the Google Books corpus. We can see that books have achieved gender pronoun parity in recent years, but movies are still lagging behind. This goes to show the difference between the two mediums when it comes to gendered pronoun usage. An advantage of pursuing a large-scale analysis is the ability to understand finer social nuances, which would have been impossible if we looked only at a few handful of movies. A common plot in many movies is the birth of a baby in the family. To conduct this analysis, we looked at dialogues like "Congratulations, you have given birth to a baby," along with its variants, and calculated a ratio which we term as a male birth ratio. It basically counts the number of times a boy is born divided by the total number of times both boys and girls are born. And by analyzing over 1 million Bollywood dialogues, we saw that in the pre-2000 era, every 3 in 4 or 75% babies born in movies were boys. This situation has improved a lot in the recent years, but this goes to show that even within family dynamics, there was a big gender disparity observed in movies. Can AI automatically detect colorism in movies? To understand this phenomena, we employ a popular artificial intelligence model and play a simple game of fill in the blanks. We input the sentence, "A beautiful woman should have blank skin," to the AI model trained on Wikipedia and the books corpus. The model predicts the blank to be soft. We input the same sentence, "A beautiful woman should have blank skin," to the AI model, which is now fed both the Bollywood and Hollywood dialogue corpus on top of the books corpus. And to no surprise, the model starts predicting the blank to be fair with the highest probability. That is, a beautiful woman should have fair skin. This analysis also showcased that when the AI model was exposed to the new movie corpus, its predictions started becoming even more biased. Another unique aspect of our analysis is the time period we are spanning to mark the trajectory of bias in movies. We collected movie data from over 70 years to see how things have changed over time. To analyze this, we use a concept known as word embeddings. To explain it in very simple terms, we can think about it in the form of a quote. A word is known by the company it keeps. For example, if I ask you all to tell me the word which can follow corona, most of you will say virus, vaccine, or beer. No one will say random phrases like corona hurricane, corona mountain, etc. Hence, the co-occurrence of words gives us information regarding the context in which they occur. We perform this large-scale analysis to show that over the years, new words might have come up to get associated with beauty, but the proximity of fair with beautiful has remained constant throughout the years, especially in Bollywood. Colorism as a concept has been prevalent in India for a long time, and more recently, there has also been a huge pushback on actors and actresses endorsing skin lightening products. While looking at some movie examples, we also noticed some striking occupational stereotypes. Nurses were more likely to be women, doctors were more likely to be men, artists were more likely to be women, engineers and people joining the army were more likely to be men. These biased occupational stereotypes have existed in movies over the years. Using methods similar to word embeddings, we are able to quantify these stereotypes across each industry, giving them a score from 0 to 1, 0 being the least biased and 1 being the most biased. we notice that both Bollywood and Hollywood are highly biased when it comes to occupational stereotypes. An interesting study which we carried out is comparing these two industries with dialogues from award-winning foreign films at the Academy Awards. And surprisingly, we could see that these award-winning foreign films were the least biased compared to Bollywood and Hollywood. And within different genres as well, we noticed that action movies in both the industries were much more male-centric as compared to romantic movies. Along with talking about some of the issues movies face, I want to provide a positive picture to encourage us as we move forward. The gender bias in both the world's biggest industries is gradually reducing. While there's a long way to go, movies are becoming more progressive. They're promoting gender and racial awareness and talking about important points we need to handle as a society. So what was the impact of our work? We performed the largest ever analysis of movie dialogue spread across 3 industries. For the first time ever, our methods are able to rank movie industries as a whole on different parameters like colorism, gender bias, etc. Through this project, we managed to reignite the conversation of gender bias and colorism in movies, but this time it was backed by large-scale data and analysis. The project received widespread international media attention, and it was able to showcase how technology can be used to tackle social issues across different countries and continents. And through this project, we want to put forth few questions to think about. Along with having a rating for script, direction, cinematography, can we also start rating movies along the lines of gender equality, racial equality? And for every movie we watch henceforth, can we all think about the ideals the characters are portraying? And if we perceive bias, raise awareness about them. As I come towards the end of my talk, I would like to share just one thing which personally helped me in my journey so far and which might be useful for all the budding students with a passion of making a difference in the world using technology. For every project or class assignment you're working on, try to think about how you can make it accessible for everyone. If you're building an app, can it be used by anyone speaking a local dialect and not a popular language like English? Does your project ensure and promote gender and racial equality? Trying to answer these questions will automatically help you in thinking creatively and making a social impact through your project. At the same time, whenever you're roaming around in your surroundings, going through social media, reading newspapers and articles, all the incidents which you come across and which feel like one-off incidents, investigate them with data and analysis. You will be surprised by the results you find. As I end my speech, I would like to thank my advisors, Dr. Ashik Khudabaksh, Professor Tom Mitchell, Professor Eric Nyberg, and Carnegie Mellon for giving me an opportunity to work on this project. Thank you all for joining and have a great day.